Let's invite Rakesh Arora, the Head of Research India at Macquarie Capital Securities. He's joining us on the phone line to speak about the developments on the coal auction front. Good morning, Rakesh. Thanks much for joining. Well, what have you made of this decision by the court to allow JSPL's plea that its coal block has now been categorized as something available for power companies? Do you think this is going to put off the entire auction process, or will this be dealt with on a more isolated basis?
See, I think that the coal auction process will continue. Only the coal blocks where this kind of, relook is required will be the ones which will be held back. So I don't think government is going to stop with this auction process anytime. Number two is that, the court order clearly says that the decision-making process in terms of identifying the end use was not really, proper. So government can still come out with a proper, frame a guideline as to how they are, identifying projects for various end use. So they can still overcome this hurdle. And in all probability, government is going to appeal in the Supreme Court also. So I don't think the last word is out on this as yet. But it's a good, first step for JSPL at least, that government is now hearing their plea and they've already invested huge amount of sum of money on these projects.
Okay. Good morning, Rakesh, and thanks so much for joining in. But has the Delhi High Court perhaps opened, Pandora's box? Because there are other companies like a Hindalco where, the Talabira coal mine, also there was a change in end use over there as well. So do you expect the likes of Hindalco also to now contest? And is there a case that, more and more blocks could be exempt from auctions? And if yes, which ones?
See, in the first lot of 21 coal blocks which are under auction, there's only one which is impacted because of the judgment. But for future auctions, yes, Hindalco, etc., is going to approach the court now, given there is a precedence available, and they will also like to get the relief. But these are for future auctions. So the first initial auction for 21 coal blocks, only one is getting impacted.
Okay. What about, others going to court? I think yesterday we spoke to Sarda Energy as well. They were contemplating if, steel, hitherto blocks allotted for steel and now allotted for power are getting questioned, then would they also want to go to the court to say that steel and cement companies be allotted separate blocks? I mean, I'm wondering whether, therefore, a case like this can stymie the process further.
See, as I said that, in the first 21, there's only one which is of this kind of controversy. And in future, there are a few more. I think almost 60% of the coal which was earlier reserved for power or non-power, which is steel, aluminium, and cement, was diverted to power. So for future auctions, a lot of coal mines would come up for these kind of controversy. So government has to really come out with clear guidelines as to how they are allocating various coal blocks for what end use. Meaning the process, the decision is not being questioned. The decision-making process is being questioned by the court. So they have to come out with just a clear guideline and follow that while selecting the end use.
Okay. So the government has now ordered a review of these two blocks by a technical committee. What's going to be the basis of, this particular, technical committee and the review? And you also indicated, very clearly that it's not the decision which is being questioned, but the decision-making process. So what could be the changes that could be incorporated? And by the end of it, do you think that, these contentious, coal blocks will, go the government's way and be reserved for power, or do you think the likes of steel and the cement sector could win?
It is difficult to say clearly at this juncture, but what the technical committee has to do is that they have to frame a proper guideline. See, remember the whole coal scam happened because of discretionary power used by the screening committee. There was no one guideline which was followed. They use different metrics while allocating coal blocks for different companies, and the new government can't do that same mistake again. So they have to come out with a clear guideline and follow the same process for each of the coal blocks. So we'll wait to hear from the technical committee as to what is the key criteria they are using. Be it quality of coal, you need actually a poor quality coal for power as compared to steel. The second is geological reserves. Power plants need much higher geological reserves of coal. So those are some of the criteria which they will lay down, and based on that, the end use should be decided. It should not be, on ad hoc basis. That is what the court is saying.
Okay. I think for the moment, the government has plans for about 101 coal blocks. Rakesh, which of these will go on unhindered? Do you think like half of them could get stymied because of the process getting questioned? You said that the first round you don't see any danger. What about the subsequent rounds? How many blocks are in danger at all? Is there a danger of coal supplies getting falling to a trickle at some point?
See, initially the expectation is that the coal mines which are producing can come back on stream as fast as possible, because as per the court order, they are valid only till 31st March.
Yes.
So among that, there are only two mines. So one is for JSP and another is for Hindalco, which are under questionable, status at the moment. So it's not a big number. I think around 7-8 million ton out of 36 million ton that they were producing.
Okay.
Is under question. Okay. The other mines were not even producing, and the expectation is not there in terms of production for next 2 to 3 years at least.
Okay.
So a few months delay here and there is not going to change things materially.
Do you expect the power sector bids to get impacted in any way at all?
See, the first round of bidding in any case was expected to be pretty stiff, given that most of the companies will be nervous and would like to take advantage and be the first to take the coal blocks. So we were expecting a lot of competitive bidding in the first round. But for power sector specifically, the whole cost is a pass-through. So it doesn't really matter to bid too much aggressively. And so I would tend to think that it won't really change things materially for the power sector, at least in the first round.
So, as of now, after yesterday's judgment, you're not worried about supplies of coal for any of the units you cover, any of the stocks or companies that you cover?
See, our house view is that there's going to be enough coal available, and India may not even increase its imports. If government can deliver on the coal production that they're targeting for Coal India, India might actually become a net exporter of coal. So apart from the anxiety companies have near term, I don't think coal is a big issue at all for any of these, coal consuming companies. So it is only a matter of the initial 2-3 years till the time production is ramped up. So I won't really worry too much about coal for any of these companies. I'll be more worried if they bid very aggressively and hurt their long-term prospects by being short-termish in their view.
Okay. Rakesh, one final question. When do you expect the technical committee to come out with their review, as well as how soon could the government perhaps announce the new guidelines? Any timelines?
I don't think any timelines have been indicated at the moment by the government. But I would tend to believe that the way they have acted so fast in this whole case, probably they might not take too long here also. So maybe in a month or two.
Okay, so the new guidelines should be in place before the other auctions, the future auctions.
That's true.
If you can just repeat what is the total amount of coal at stake, the total amount of coal being produced by the blocks that are being auctioned in the first round and the second round, and how many are getting stymied or stopped?
Okay, so the total production from the operating mines was around 36 million tons.
Okay, and 7 to 8 are in jeopardy.
At the moment, yes.
All right. Okay, that certainly looks like a controllable problem. Thank you very much, Rakesh Arora, for joining us and giving us those numbers.